Over the past few weeks or so, I've been using nothing but scalar potential in Destiny 2 PvP to see if it's really worth your time, and in today's video, we're finally going to find that out. But that's not all. We're also going to be building the perfect scalar potential, seeing how differently it performs in checkmate compared to the regular crucible, and most importantly, if it's actually better than Oversoul Edict. Sub to the channel if you enjoy in-depth PvP focused videos like this one and would like to see more of my content in the future. Thanks so much, and let's jump straight in, starting with building the perfect scalar potential. Before we get too deep into the perks, just keep in mind I'm only going to mention the best of the best perks, as scalar potential is craftable and everyone at some point should be able to build the exact build that they want. With that in mind, let's take a look at the masterwork, barrel, and magazine. I like to group these together as we are generally trying to achieve the same thing with each, and in this case, that is going to be range, in the effort to get as close to competing with the other pulse rifle archetypes in 140s when it comes to damage fall off as we can. So, I'm going to be recommending a ranged masterwork, extended barrel, and accurized rounds. I went with extended barrel and not something like hammer force rifling or full bore here because of the increase to recoil direction extended provides, as it doesn't matter how much range we have if we aren't able to hit our shots. And on that note, if extended doesn't feel like enough recoil control for you, then you can try out arrowhead break. And if arrowhead break alone isn't enough for you, then I would try a stability masterwork. I would really advise against this, as I think that extra range is really necessary, but yet again, hitting our shots is most important, and if you can't achieve that to the same degree without stability masterwork, then go for it. Let's now shift our focus to the perks in the third column. Honestly, I don't see any options that come close to rivaling the effectiveness of keep away here. Enlightened action is interesting, but in testing I never found myself needing the extra handling and reload speed, especially when comparing it to the benefits to range and accuracy keep away provides. So I would definitely have to say keep away is going to be the perk you should go with here. Now, let's consider the perks in the fourth column. It's a similar situation, with no perk really competing with Headseeker other than maybe Focus Fury, as it synergizes really well with this weapon's origin trait, Dragon's Vengeance, that grants a small amount of range, handling, and reloads the magazine when you reach critical health or an ally dies. This origin trait reloading does not reset Focus Fury's timer, allowing you to potentially have a bigger magazine and more forgiveness when proccing Focus Fury, but I still almost always go with a consistency perk over a damage perk, and Headseeker is one of the best consistency perks in the game. So, I'm going to say Headseeker is our best perk, but Focus Fury can also be fun. As for what mod I would recommend running, well, Counterbalance is definitely going to be your best choice for the additional recoil control. Targeting Adjuster is okay too, but I definitely think you'll see a better impact in moment-to-moment gameplay with Counterbalance. Now that we know what the best Scalar potential role looks like, let's compare it to some of the other best energy rapid fires in Destiny 2. And when looking at this comparison stat-wise, it's looking pretty rough for Scalar potential, especially when looking at range and stability, arguably two of the most important stats against Horror's Least and Darkest Before. So, Darkest Before and Horror's Least are both better stat-wise than Scalar potential, but when you look at the fact that they both lack Headseeker and have a mediocre third column perk compared to Keep Away, it makes it fairly easy for me to say that Scalar potential is a better pulse rifle than both Horror's Least and Darkest Before. But what about Oversoul Edict? It has slightly less range, but significantly more stability than Scalar potential, while having access to the same Headseeker Keep Away combo alongside an adept variant. So, is Oversoul Edict just a better pulse rifle? Well, on paper, yes. In actual gameplay, I would have to say no. You see, back when Oversoul Edict first came out, I was very excited to use it in PvP, as it was a rapid-fire pulse rifle that had a Headseeker Keep Away with pretty amazing stats. That was also in the energy slot, so I could use some of my favorite kinetic shotguns alongside it. I was excited until I used it for a day, and this problem was exacerbated when using this pulse rifle again for this review. And that is the massive sight and weapon model. Look at this pulse rifle ADS. Oversoul Edict is blocking so much of where you want to be seeing your screen. Literally, the model is directly where players are about to be when you're trying to track them. So, for me at least, Scalar potential is everything I wish Oversoul Edict was. It has amazing perks, solid stats, is in the right slot, all without the giant rocks on your screen. And it's for that reason that Scalar potential is by far my favorite energy rapid-fire pulse rifle to use in Destiny 2. But how does the best energy slot rapid-fire hold up in the Crucible as a whole? Well, to answer that question, I took Scalar into pretty much every single competitive mode the Crucible has to offer, from comp to checkmate to trials to regular control and even Iron Banner. And it definitely does perform differently depending on what mode you're playing, especially in checkmate. So we're gonna start there. Now, if you didn't know, Checkmate is Bungie's new Crucible mode that was introduced as a Crucible lab last season and was put alongside normal control this season. It reduces the time to kill of most weapons, has reduced ability uptime, and has a new special ammo system. Unfortunately, rapid-fire frame pulse rifles aren't generally that great in Checkmate, partially due to the fact that they are one of the weapon archetypes that has a reduced time to kill in this mode, and their number one competition, range-wise at least, 140s do not on all Guardians tier 7 Rezo and lower. This makes it even harder to compete against 140s, alongside the fact that more people are using them. Also, some other pulse rifle archetypes that are usually overlooked are looking a lot nicer in this mode, like lightweights and adaptives, with their time to kill closer to rapid fires than it usually is, with more range and sometimes more forgiveness. But even with all this, I was still able to occasionally slay out and win fights pretty consistently. It just felt like there were better weapons I could be using. However, fortunately, that isn't the case when it comes to regular control. I got 3 we ran out of medals during this review. For context, I have 7 we rans on my entire account. Now, I have been doing my best to improve the game recently in preparation for a new series on the channel, so these results could be a little skewed. But when using this weapon, it felt like the best. I very rarely, if ever, got into an engagement and thought, wow, that guy had a better weapon than I did. If I was using his weapon, I would have won that. It's a very good weapon, and I think you would have a very hard time taking this into a control game and being disappointed. But how about Trials or comp? Well, I actually used Scalar for my Ascendant run and for multiple Trials weekends this season. And I won't lie, when I was getting serious, I did take out the Igneous Hammer or Spare Rations. But I think that could be chalked up to experience with those weapons and their respective weapon types. I never felt handicapped by using it. And I think with a little more time with the weapon under my belt, it could end up being one of the best weapons that I switch to when it gets serious. And I think it should be for you too. Hey guys, real quick, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the support on the channel this year. It has been so much more beyond than anything I would ever expect, and I cannot thank you enough for that. So thanks a bunch, and I'm excited to see you guys in the new year. We got some very exciting stuff coming up, you know, different variety of things that are coming up. So thank you a bunch, and I'll hopefully see you there. Love seeing all of your beautiful faces. Enjoy your Christmas and New Year's season, or whatever else you celebrate. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.